All right, so we're working on section 9.3. So, Damien uses an app on his phone to find all the pizza restaurants within a certain distance of his current location. What is the shape of the region that the app searches for? What type of a shape do you think it searches? A circle. And then, what do you think the app needs to know to search? Besides the pizza location, what's the first thing it needs to know? Where you are. So it needs to know the center, and then also it needs to figure out the radius of how far to search away, and it'll search in a circular pattern. Okay? So what we're doing today is working with circles. Okay? Where we're given a center and maybe another point, and then we find the radius of a circle. Okay? Now, to figure out this distance or the radius equals the square root of the two x's subtracted from each other and the two y's subtracted from each other. Or this, if the center is known as hk, then we take h minus the k, or x minus the k, h squared, y minus the k squared, and that will equal the radius squared. Now, the circle formula I wrote on the board right up here. X minus h squared, y minus k squared equals r squared, where the center of the circle is hk and the radius is r. Okay? Center is hk, radius is r. So for this problem, would they want to know the equation of this circle? Okay? I know the center of my circle is what ordered pair? Negative 1, 2. And then I need to find my radius. To find my radius, I use the distance formula or the Pythagorean theorem. I go over 2 and up 3. What's 2 squared plus 3 squared? What's 4 plus 9, which is 13. So, the radius is the square root of 13. So we're going to put this into the circle formula. The circle formula is x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals r squared. So it's x minus a negative 1. What's minus a negative? Plus a positive. So it's x plus 1 squared times y minus, what's the y value of the center? What's the y value of the center? 2 squared equals the radius squared. What's the square root of 13 squared? When you square a square root, you get what's inside of it? 13. That's the equation of the circle. That's that circle right there. So it's knowing how to work with the circle formula is what we're doing today. Knowing how to work with the circle formula. All right. So a circle has a radius of 7 and it's centered at the origin. Does the point negative 3, 2 lie on negative 3 square root of 2, 5 lie on circle Q? Well, let's first come up with the circle formula. Remember, the circle formula is x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals the radius squared. What is the ordered pair of the origin? Where is the origin? 0, 0. What is the radius of this circle? 7. This is h, this is k. So it's x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals 7 squared. What's x minus 0? X. So it's just x squared plus y squared equals 7 squared is 49. X squared plus y squared equals 49. Now, that's my equation of this circle. That's circle Q. Now we got to know if that lies on circle Q. Is that part of circle Q? So we take the x and we square it. We take the y and we square it and check if it's equal to 49. Okay, what is negative 3 squared? 9. What is the square root of 2 squared? 2. What's 9 times 2? 18. What's 5 squared? What's 18 plus 25? It's not 49, is it? So does the point lie on point Q? No. No, it does not. Let's try one of those again. Circle has a radius of 10 and is centered at 3, 0. So my equation is x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals r squared. What's h? 3. What's k? 0. What's the radius? What's the radius? 10. So it's x minus 3 squared plus y squared equals 100. Okay? That's my equation of my circle. All right. How do we figure out if negative 3, 8 lies on there? No. No. How about we just plug these points in for x and y? So negative 3 minus 3 squared plus 8 squared equals 100. What's negative 3 minus 3? 0? It's negative 6 squared. What's negative 6 squared? What's 8 squared? Does that equal to 100? Yes, that checks. So yes, that point lies on that circle. So that's a yes answer. Okay, now for something just slightly more difficult. It's called completing the square. Okay? This equation represents a circle. How do we rewrite it to identify the center and the radius of the circle? Okay? So how we rewrite it is we get the x's together. So we say x squared minus 6x plus blank. The plus blank is important. And then we put the y's together. So then we say plus y squared plus 8y plus blank. And then whatever number this is, we move it to the other side. When we move it to the other side, it becomes negative. So it equals negative 16 plus blank plus blank. The blanks are important. To figure out what goes in the blanks, we take half of this and we're going to square it. What's half of negative 6? And square it is 9. So if a 9 goes there, a 9 goes there. If a 9 goes in the blank on the left, you put it in a blank on the right, because you have to make each side of the equation equals. Whatever you do to the left side of the equation, you got to do the right side of the equation. So take this. What's half of 8? 4 squared is? Whatever you do to this side, you do to this side. Now we're going to rewrite it with this fancy squared thing. Now what do we say half of this was? Negative 3. So we go x minus 3. That's what goes in that set of parentheses. What do we say that half of this was? 4. A positive 4, so it's y plus 4 squared equals, what's negative 16 plus 16? 0 plus 9 is? So my center is, what do you think my center is? Now remember, it's x minus h is your center. X minus 3, so 3 is the center. And y minus k, y plus, if this is a plus and we need a minus, plus is the same as minus a negative. So it's negative 4. So if you want to think of it in this way, to find the center and the radius, if you have the equation, it's the opposite of this, and then the radius is the square root of that. Opposite of this is 3. Opposite of this is negative 4. Square root of that, what's my radius? 3. That's my center and my radius. We'll do one more of those after a little bit. Okay, we'll do one more of those after a little bit. Okay, I don't like this problem, so we're going to skip past it. Paul and Ahmed are willing to drive up to 10 miles each to meet each other for lunch. Each point represents a restaurant. At which restaurants could they meet? Well, if we draw this out, every square is 2 miles, right? So if we go 10 miles, Ahmed will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He can go that far away, this far away, this far away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, it's out here, 10. So Ahmed will drive that far away. Can he drive to G? No, G will be just outside his 10-mile circle. That's Ahmed's circle. Now let's look at Paul's circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Which restaurants are in both circles? C, E, and F are in both circles. Now, D might be within 10 miles. So to check, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's 8 squared plus 6 squared? It's 64 plus 36, which is 100. Square root of 100 is 10. Yep, D is right at that 10-mile radius. Okay, B is not because it's straight off of here. And so B would be just slightly over 10 miles. But D would work too. These are the 4 restaurants they could meet at. Well, I guess. Okay, so circle equation. X minus h squared, y minus k squared equals r squared, where hk is the center, r is the radius. Your center on this one was at 3, 1. And if your radius is 4, 3 goes there, 1 goes there, 4 goes there. Okay? Now, I want to do one more of those. Completing the square things. So if we have x squared plus 8x plus y squared plus or minus 2y plus plus 8 equals 0. Okay. Let's figure this out. Okay. So you go x squared plus 8x plus blank plus y squared plus or minus 2y plus blank equals negative 8 plus blank plus blank. What do you do with the 8? Take half of it and then you square it. So that is 16. So whatever goes in a blank on this side goes in a blank on that side. What do you do with the negative 2? Take half of it, which is negative 1, and square it. What's negative 1 squared? 1. 1 and 1. So this is, what's half of 8? Positive 8? 4. So this is x plus 4 squared. What's half of -2? -1. So it's y minus 1 squared equals -8 plus 16 is 8 plus 1 is 9. So where is our center on this one? Opposite and opposite. So -4, +1. What's our radius? Not 9. It's the square root of that, which is 3. Okay? So I'll make this just a little bit smaller. So, and I'll leave that up. All right, so I'm going to throw out 2 assignments at you. Section 9.2 is an extra credit assignment. You don't have to do a single problem if you don't want to. But every problem that you do is extra credit. And then section 9.3, that's your normal assignment that you need to do.